projection.
Yes, so it committed back to the committee event, and our thinking was that we were gonna have the event where we had further information to provide and more detail to provide. Now is the claims process coming out, we do have further information, and we will be holding that series of events in conjunction with the claims. I don't know the exact date for you yet, but it will be soon. And we'll be a series of them. They'll provide people the opportunity to ask questions, get further information, and also get systems for filing claims.
And then the last part of my question will be, under the accountability umbrella, the safety aspect, the increased safety procedures, the increased plan, basically going forward. When will that be? Because that's one of the biggest things. You got a lot of people that are here, you know, and they need to know, look, things have been mitigated. There's no more issue here, or whatever the plan is, but you need to be somewhat transparent with it. I get there's some certain things you can't divulge, but as much as possible, the public deserves to know what safety protocols were enhanced at the company going forward, so they can ease their minds. There's a lot of nervous people up there, right? And so that needs to happen as well. And but this is a good first step. I'm hoping your company's totally committed to making the community totally whole, because we got nerves, we've got all kinds of other issues, right? So anyway, thank you for coming up here. I know it's not an easy thing to do, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. People want answers, and they want answer. And the first step that the company coming up with $100 million, I think that is a good forward step. But still, I have a question about the safety of the long term. So what is the Gkn long-term hazardous materials?
Okay, so let me assure you that everything we're doing, safety remains our top priority. We brought in experts from across the industry to look at the incident and provide lessons learned from it. Everything that we do going forward is to lock up with all the regulatory agencies. We continue to work with Alliance Government, both federal and local and state. And everything, we will do nothing that doesn't have full approval and all the necessary approvals from the regulatory agencies. In addition to that, we are going to have an independently monitored or approved safety plan. All of our operations will be under that. So that's another level. But again, so even if you don't necessarily trust me, the regulatory, everything we're doing is in conjunction with an entire team of folks along the way. And again, under the auspices of the court approved safety plan.
And also, Gkn want to resume full operational by September 28th. And I just want to know if everything is ready and safety by then.
Sure, and September 28th, if you understand how we came up with that date was, all the experts are looking at what to remain work and safety protocols and things like that that would be put in place necessary for us to safely restart the full operational capability. They put all those things together and said, okay, this takes 3 days, this takes 4 days, this takes 5 days, and that day pops out as September 28th. It's a Monday, it's not a weird day anyway. They're having the things happen, but that's the way. So that's how that works. And that's how it's set up with September 28th. There is work that has to be done from a technical standpoint. That's the date that we can be operational. But again, nothing we're going to do is going to be done without safety first. We're going to bring all the regulators along, make sure they're happy and everything's signed off, and it's all good with everybody else getting back toward the safety plan.
That's great. Thank you for being here for us and for the public. Thank you.
I will be really quick. I would like to repeat what they put tab and as a member Philip already asked the question. My first one is always about safety. So thank you for addressing that. And I think that we look forward to the day that you have a community meeting where that the resident will be able to ask you directly and you will be able to address the concern. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Collin. I have a couple of comments, a couple of request and a couple of questions. First off, thank you very much. I'm one of your toughest critics. The 3 million or 3 million something that was initially available, I consider that a drop in the bucket. But with the 100 million, that seems to be the bucket. So we hope that we can make our residents whole and businesses in this area. We will need a timeline on when the claim process will be available for people. So please update. I think your press release earlier this week was very effective. And keep putting out those press releases, and come to our meeting. Until you have your town hall meeting, this is a town hall meeting. Come here and talk to us. You have this forum. We're here to let the public know any new information you have. You're welcome to come to our meetings anytime. So you utilize. This is a town hall meeting. And make the process friendly. My request is this. Please screen in, don't screen out. When you have an applicant or claimant, give them the benefit of the doubt. They have suffered those damages. Screen them in. Approve expeditiously. Get those checks cut out. That's my request. Please screen in, don't screen out. Give everyone the benefit of the doubt. The last one. My question to you is, you have heard your critics. You've heard me loud and clear. Some, not me, some have asked that Gkn cease operations and move beyond city limits. What are your challenges and why should we not take the side of those who want you to cease operations and move out? Why? Give us your reasoning. Give us your best persuasive argument, and you're going to hear a lot of critics tonight. They'll be coming speaking right after you. So here's your opportunity. Convince us that you're a good corporate citizen, that you belong here. You'd be a good operator, complying with all the safety regulations. And one last request. When and if you do decide to open September 28th, I would like to tour your facility. And any leaders here, any official, or any public person, can you please find a way to assure us we're safe? We will tour your facility. I will set foot on Gkn. I will walk around those tanks, and I will feel like, yeah, you take care of business. You're going to get here. And the residents will be okay. Nobody's at risk. Can we make that happen? Can we tour your facility before you are back in operation producing products with equipment?
Yes, the simple answer to your question is yes, but I offer the invite out to anybody in the council members who want to come to tour at any time. We've done over the last 3 months many tours that we've done through, and then obviously with the players who are on site all the time. So more than happy to do that, and it's just hot in August. So I'm more than happy to have you go to many tours like that along those lines. As far as the other question, kind of goes back to the statement before. I know in this incident, you can build up 60 years of good trust in the neighborhood, which is what we did. And one incident can trash that 60 years, so we have a long way to go to make that up. I think the very steps that we're taking by having independent monitoring, signing up to even more regulatory oversight than we've had before. And remember, even prior to this, we operated in a confluence of two highly regulated industries in the country, chemicals and aerospace. So ready to come into it as we're going through. So we have all that time. We provide high-paying jobs to the community. We are a very loyal workforce, multi-generational workforce that's been worked here for 50 years. And they're second generation, third generation. We are a standard bearer for the community. We've been here since the very beginning. We've grown with the community. We don't have any intention of going out of the community or part of this community. We understand we have some ground to make up. We intend to make that up.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Everybody up and down the last couple of meetings that, where have we been? What have we been doing? And I can assure you that we have all been working very hard, especially you one part of GKN. You weren't, not working, not doing anything last couple of months, and I know you've come back with I call it a care package. It shows a lot of love and respect for this community, and we love you right back. We love and respect your employees, each and every one. And so, I want you to speak to the critics who say that you put profit before people. Is that true?
No, I think the best for people to answer that, and the best side of that is people sitting behind me. They don't reflect a workforce that works for a company that's profit when people are workforce or a company that doesn't look after their folks. Or the union representation we have here, the long-standing relationship we have with unions. Those are all not indicative of companies that put profit before. We don't.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Mr. Berlin. It's always a surprise when we have you back here with us. I want to make sure that I'm clear with the community that I do think that you still owe us a town hall meeting for our broader community at large. Because I have questions about what these individual community events would entail and who would be at these events and how they would be spoken to, how they would be serviced. But I think the broader community as a whole, the people that come into Garden Grove to work, to play, to learn, that are in the vicinity and the proximity of your facility also have questions that I believe you are the best and the most capable to answer. And I think that that broader community does deserve those answers. So you came before us and you told us that you were going to have a town hall. And the town hall, by its name, is for the town, which means that it's going to be for everyone. I do believe that you owe, and I mean the universal you, GKN, owes the broader community as a whole to be given that promise and having that promise actualized, because that is what you said when you came before us. So I do believe, and I will still hold you to having that town hall for our broader community at large. I'm sure that we're going to be having further conversations as all of this unfolds in the coming weeks. And as we start going through the process of making that community whole, as you guys have started with this $100 million process, as some of my other colleagues, have detailed, as some of my other colleagues have said, this is taking a reverb. You know what? I'm sure they need the mic for this, but I'm very good at projecting. Thank you, Councilmember Mayton. Theater kid. I could speak very loudly. As we go forward, we want to make sure that when folks are coming to you, they know that they're going to be getting answers, that they're going to be getting answers in the languages that best serves them. This is a diverse community. This is a community that isn't just going to come to speak to you in English. They're going to have questions for you in Spanish, Vietnamese, Korean, Tagalog, a plethora of things, because this incident didn't just immediately affect our neighborhoods either. It affected so many folks in Orange County. So I'm going to be paying close attention to how you guys do the rollout of these community events and what that's going to look like to make sure that they are accessible to as many members of our community as possible, because not everyone is going to have the ability to go and join you there in person. So I think that there might be some more work in the back end to make sure that you are tackling and that you're servicing as many of the members of our community in need. So that is an expectation that I would have if I were someone that would have gone through that experience, for you guys to be doing the most truly to make sure that we are whole. That is the expectation that I have for you with my neighbors, because these are my neighbors. Now to the other question of my neighbors. Your employees are my neighbors. You employ at least 400 employees who are members of the Teamsters, and I believe 200 other employees that are members of various different types of staff. I've asked you this before, I'm gonna ask you this again. Do you commit to protecting the jobs, the security, and the livelihoods of your workers as this process goes forward?
We did. As we have every step of the way, we pay benefits. We have every intention, we will do that.
Thank you, Mr. Carmen. It's been a period of a lot of uncertainty for many members of our community, and I'm sure that this is an uncertainty that your employees have also faced. Because we are one of many agencies and governmental bodies that is asking you difficult questions, that wants to hold you accountable, that is going to be doing God knows what. We don't know what's coming down the bend, from Congress to the state to the county. We don't know what else is going to happen, but we are one of many agencies that's here representing our neighbors. These are our constituents as well. They are our neighbors. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, as well as all of the other members of our community that have been affected by this incident. With many other questions to go forward with this, because this news has been very, very recent, but to the effect of making sure that you're bringing in as many people into the process of being made whole. That is something that is key. I'm not a math major, but if you divide the amount of money by 50,000, that gives you 2,000 per family and business. And it's my understanding that some businesses did suffer more than others, and some families did suffer more than others. I hope that if you reach the point where you realize that there is more need, you will take it upon yourself to, as a corporation, decide there's still a need that needs to be met, and meet that need, because that is part of making the community whole. So I thank you for your commitment to making sure that the workers are still going to be taken care of, to continue to go through this process. We're going to continue holding you to a town hall, and we are going to continue in conversations, because we don't know how long this process is going to take. We don't know how many other folks are going to be involved in this process. But thank you for being here, and we're going to continue the work. That's all we can do.
Thank you, Mr. Carlin. Thank you, colleagues, for your questions and comments on this issue. Obviously, this is something that none of us could have ever expected, but we're getting through it as best we can, and we appreciate the generosity of the 100 million to work towards making our community whole. It's something that myself and my colleagues have stood by, and it's been one of our most important demands over the course of this incident. And again, we welcome hard and definitive dates as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, with that, we will head into oral communication. And as we open oral communication, we ask that the public be patient as you wait to be called on, and that you keep your public comments respectful within a 2-minute time limit. Any person making pertinent, slanderous, or profane remarks who becomes boisterous while addressing the city council will be called to order. If the conduct continues, you'll be barred from addressing the city council any further and removed from the meeting or remote participation. The city clerk will now provide instructions for remote participants. Oral communications is-
Vừa rồi là cái phần phát biểu của Hội đồng thành phố cũng như là phía đại diện của công ty GKN. Bây giờ đây là phần phát biểu của các cư dân. Trong khán phòng thì có khá là nhiều những người nhân viên từ cái công ty GKN đi để mà ủng hộ công ty.
If you are joining the meeting by telephone, you may request to speak by dialing *9 for your phone. You will be called by either the last 3 digits of your phone number or your caller ID. You must dial *6 to unmute. Please state your name and the agenda item you are commenting on, then proceed with your comment. You will have 2 minutes. Please note at this time we will begin with in-person speakers, followed by remote participants. And at this time, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our speakers. First, we'll have Peter Hyson, followed by Sophia Hay. And after Sophia, we have Rema. Peter?
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. My name is Steve Edison, and the General Manager of Mary Speeds Airline, as well as the president of the Glen Grove Tourism Promotion Corporation, which represents 10 hotels in Glen Grove, 10 big hotels in Glen Grove. I have two supporters here. Christine Hall from the general manager of the Hyatt Hotel, as well as Diane Blake, general manager of Embassy Suites with me. There's a couple of GMs that are on the call right now. We are here to strongly support the agenda item number 15 today. That is going to be the reading of the minutes for the protection within hotels, known as active lights. So it is the employee protection. One of the biggest concerns that hotel general managers and hotel owners have is the safety and security of your employees as well as the guests. These devices, which will be implemented with deployments, will be passed, will ask us to employ these devices that are panic devices, so in case someone is in a room or in an area where by themselves, they can activate that and save recovery of such situations. Right? I think Glen Grove has a very safe environment. We have some statistics and some data that proves this from the police department as well as ourselves. However, this will take it on the whole level a little further than what is required by law and anything else. So we strongly support the city council to consider this and implement it. 2/3 of the hotels in Glen Grove already have these devices in place. Some of them also have 3 or 4 years. There's a couple of hotels that still have to implement them and be evaluated. So we ask you to support it, and we thank you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sophia. I'm a Garden Grove resident and member of the Arab community here. I've been coming to our city council meetings since the first after the evacuations began. Today, I'm appalled by the news that Gkn has had an even longer history of negligence and reckless operations than we initially thought. This was not an isolated incident. It came after a documented pattern of safety problems and violations. Problems that, according to community research, escalated alongside Gkn's push to expand military production. This isn't the result of one mistake. This is the result of an industry and a company that treats our communities as disposable in order to line their pockets. I'm afraid for my family's safety, my neighbors, my friends, the Gkn employees who have to work in unsafe conditions to support their families. I've been canvassing door to door alongside communities to spread awareness about this, and the overwhelming majority of people are angry, they're frustrated, and they don't trust Gkn to operate in our neighborhoods. We met with family members from Gkn employees who are concerned for their safety. Steve Carlin said that Gkn is part of our community, but Gkn isn't welcome here. Local authorities had so many chances to take stronger enforcement actions against Gkn's known, repeated, flagrant, and dangerous health and safety violations. Local authorities chose not to hold Gkn accountable, but now you have the chance to. Gkn's safety plan is years too late. They've lost our trust, and it's up to all of you to hold them accountable. Stop the expansion, shut down Gkn, and moratorium now. Thank you. Good evening, City Council members. My name is Rahma, and I'm here to strongly urge the Council to impose an immediate moratorium on Gkn. And I want to first address the $100 million compensation program, because I think it's important for us to be really clear about what it does and what it doesn't accomplish. First, financial compensation is not full accountability. And while I agree that it represents an important and necessary first step, there's still a lot of unanswered questions, including the eligibility criteria for the compensation program, and it doesn't also do the damage that the 50,000 people that had to evacuate were exposed to, nor does it absolve Gkn from their complicity in the genocide of Gaza and the war on Iran. Second, this $100 million announcement is being presented as a win primarily for residents, but it's interesting to kind of take a look at who actually benefits from this. GKN's parent company, Melrose, their stock value jumped more than 8% from last night after this announcement. And financial reporting states that this is because they have avoided criminal charges from the DA. It remains unclear whether or not health-related losses will even be covered, and most of the details do not seem to be fleshed out. Third, and most importantly, the council does not need to wait for a number of months before acting. I remember from the last city council meeting, y'all shared with us that you were waiting on the incident reports from various agencies, but a moratorium is exactly what you should impose when a facility has already created an unacceptable public safety risk and the full facts are still being established. You have the authority to stop expansion and prevent business as usual while those investigations happen. You have the power and the responsibility to impose a moratorium now, and I strongly urge you to do so. Thank you.
Next three speakers will be Amir, Hanan, and Alex Ramirez. Amir. Next speakers are going to be Amir.
Council members, city leadership, great to see you all. I know many of you from the past have worked with you, former executive director of the Southern side of Orange County. I'm with Orange County for Justice in Palestine. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little concerned at the council's direction today. It seems to me that $100 million was all it took to change the direction of city leadership's protection of its citizens. Councilman Joe DeVin, you said no one wants a bomb next to your school that can go off at any time. And that was a courageous statement because I think we all agree with that. But it seems like the $100 million is actually all it took for us to switch sides. I don't understand GKN's logic here. He says they're taking more safety measures and complying with more regulatory procedures. What were they doing before? Were they ignoring safety measures? Were there regulatory procedures that they simply didn't want to pay for? Were there procedures that their company just decided weren't worth it? I think those are the tough questions the council actually needs to dig into. And that is exactly why we've been asking for a moratorium. The council made an honest, smart decision in evacuating 50,000 residents because that was the mitigating risk. You mitigate risk when you're in leadership positions. But now it seems like we've just waited on the company to tell us what their plan is, and we're not mitigating risk. The more responsible position would be to enact the moratorium immediately until the council can confirm themselves that what the billion-dollar corporation is saying. They made $800 million today. $800 million in one day. And $100 million is going supposedly to the residents. We've yet to see any of that to be true, and I'm sure we're going to get notice of all of that. I'll just leave with this for the council. The famous saying, if you fool me once, shame on you. If you fool me twice, shame on me. I would really love to see a moratorium in place with the council. Thank you.
Hanan. After Hanan,
Excuse me. Pardon me. We have a point of order since Councilmember Devitt was personally acknowledged.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. When the council members mentioned that they may have a rebuttal, I am using 1 minute just to rebut the last gentleman. I haven't switched sides. I actually agree with the previous speaker that we need to take into account health issues also. So I want to add that point. And I looked Mr. Collin in the eye and I asked him, does he put profit before people? And I said, here, there's the evidence there, proof for you right here. He does not, and his corporation does not. Now stocks goes up, stocks goes down. Who's going to predict what their stock going to be tomorrow? It's not going to fall 800 million. So I don't make my decisions based on the stock market. I'm sorry. I make my decision when I see results delivered to my resident. And I'm pleading with Gkn literally to screen in the people who apply, the applicants, give them the benefit of the doubt, and allocate those money expeditiously. give me a timeline. If you say the 28th of September, you're gonna go back into operation, then I insist that the claimant process be started before that, long before that, by early September, and I will walk your facility. If I don't feel safe, I will continue to point out all the issues, all the challenges that GKN will have to overcome before they regain our trust. But I feel a lot of love and respect for the people who come here today and for the care package that they have given us the bucket. Let's start to deliver on that. And let me insist on keep updating, let us know when people can apply and when they will get the compensation and the justice we deserve. Thank you.
Next speaker.
We had called Hanin, but when we went from Hanin, we have Brian from the OC Director. Is Brian available?
Good evening, City Council. Thank you for having me here today. Nobody likes mosquitoes. Mosquitoes suck. Literally, it's true. That's what they think. They've been around since the dinosaurs. I think they killed the dinosaurs. And ever since then, they've been getting better and better at what they do, which is take our blood. And that can also be dangerous because that's how diseases spread. Right now, with the heat we're seeing in the summer, we're seeing a lot of West Nile activity throughout Orange County. West Nile virus is a deadly disease. You have one resident that's already infected with it. It's looking like it's going to be the worst summer we've ever. So I'm here to ask everybody to work together, find that standing water, dump it out. These mosquitoes bite at dusk and dawn. So that's when you need to protect yourself. You wear long pants and long sleeves, which is great in the summer. Not really. You can stay inside. You can put on repellent. We offer free service. We will come to your house. We'll look in your front yard and backyard for standing water. We let your neighbors know we're coming. We can look there as well because the mosquitoes can easily fly over the fence. So thank you for having us here and give us a call anytime we can be of service.
Here we have Alex Ramirez, Mike, Joe, and Celine. Alex Ramirez.
Hello, Council. My name is Hanin, and as a resident of Garden Grove for almost 25 years, I come here with my community to hold GKN accountable for their actions of putting the residents of Garden Grove and the neighboring cities like Stanton and Westminster at risk of a chemical and environmental catastrophe back in May. GKN must answer for their actions and complicity in the production of F-35 transparency canopies, which are used to deliver and drop bombs on hospitals, schools, refugee camps, playgrounds, and more in BOLSA. As a resident of Garden Grove, I refuse to allow a corporation like GKN, who's enabling a genocide by way of weapons components, to operate in our own backyards. As a resident of Garden Grove, GKN is not fit. I believe GKN is not fit to exist in our community due to the role they play in meeting the demand of F-35 lightning parts as the U.S. continues to wage war in every corner of the globe. The evacuation order being lifted, an apology or a payout from GKN is not enough to rectify what thousands of Garden Grove residents experienced from the danger GKN exposed to our community and the poor response from the city. The recent announcements of $100 million in compensation does not mean that they have been held responsible. They have not been held accountable this entire time, and it does not touch the conditions that allowed this crisis to happen. The City Council must confront the fact that the May chemicals crisis was not an isolated incident. There has been clear documented patterns of safety problems and violations. It is clear that no matter where GKN goes, it threatens the safety and livelihoods of the cities they are in. GKN out of Garden Grove now.
Alex Ramirez. Alex.
Good evening, council members. I'm Alex Ramirez. I'm a worker at GKN now suites. I'm also a shop steward for Teachers Local 9 We're the members of GKN on the shop floor. You guys were asking for a argument to show you guys why we should stay there. I turn around and if my teacher brothers to stand up. You guys just telling me the people that you guys are protecting. I myself, me and my wife, have you both worked there. You guys shut down our whole household numbers. You guys say that they put profit over people. But when the incident happened and they were closed down for a month, they made sure that our health and welfare was paid. They made sure that we had money to eat each week. They still paid us our wages. And even now, any other company would crumble and start getting layoffs. These guys have ensured that we still work. We're still making sure that we're still coming into a paycheck. We're still making sure that we still have our health and welfare provided for our family. All I'm asking is let these people here that showed up today. They're asking, we're asking, we feel safe. You guys are asking if it's safe enough to work there, walk, to have a tour and walk around. This is just 50 people that work there every single day. And Ms. Orange, and you guys said it yourselves, there's 600 people that work there. We feel safe to be at that facility. So please, reconsider it and just let us keep working. We want to get back to work, continue making windows. And that's all we've been doing for all these years. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next speakers are going to be Maito, Celine, and Janan.
Good evening, council members and mayor. I'm Dr. Magnudo, Research and Policy Manager at the Harvard Institute for Advancing Economic Justice. So I have a copy of the document for each of you to look at. Hopefully it's getting passed around. We compiled a sort of reminder to provide an overview of a handful of the major safety and health violations and risks posed at the Gkn facility that have already been widely reported on. But we also want to take some time to highlight a specific incident that has been uniquely left out of the narrative for you to consider as we talk about the removal of MMA from the facility and steps going forward. According to public records from the County Healthcare Agency, I'll just read off this note in the June 21st, 2025 complete summary of property. A supply line from an external carbon dioxide tank to the manufacturing facility ruptured. The main shop was secured, locked out, tagged out, and placed out of service for the foreseeable future, stopping the release. Local emergency services responded and evacuated approximately 100 people. A vapor cloud was reported over the immediate vicinity. It goes on for a few more lines. You can read it for yourself. Thank God nobody was hurt that time. Thank God none of them were hurt that time. Thank God none of them were hurt this time in May, right? But how many more of these close calls should they or the rest of our community members weather? And removing MMA is a step in the right direction. Residents and local small businesses absolutely deserve full restitution. But the history of the facility and the nature of manufacturing shows that even without MMA, it remains a ticking time bomb and serious risk to everyone's safety, including theirs. Gkn has repeatedly worked with the appropriate regulatory agencies time and time again, and yet here we are. The city has the power to intervene when corporations and facilities pose risk to public health and well-being. It's figured out how to do it before, and it needs to figure out how to do it again. I know you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Celine.
Hi, everyone. My name is Celine, and I'm a member of the local Palestinian and Muslim community. Today, a new report was released called The History of Negligence from Gkn Garden Grove. This report makes it very clear that what happened at Gkn was not one accident, but a pattern that proves that we cannot trust Gkn. In 2023, Gkn's MMA tank system spilled hundreds of gallons. Regulators discussed alarms, overfill prevention, and safety checks afterward, but the records released so far do not show these protections actually being implemented. And in 2025, a completely different system failed. A carbon dioxide supply line ruptured, created a vapor cloud, and forced another evacuation. Then came the crisis in May of 2026. So it's not just about MMA. MMA is one hazard of many. The issue has been Gkn, and Gkn cannot be allowed to pay its way out of accountability. For the past 3 months at every council meeting, your residents, your constituents have been showing up to say that they don't feel safe living near this facility. Nothing about Gkn's history indicates that we can trust that this won't happen again. Everything about this history indicates it will happen again, but only if the city allows it to. Regarding Gkn's expansion, it is not simply building break rooms. Gkn itself has said it is building a new production line in Garden Grove to double production of quote-unquote critical F-35 canopies. These are not random parts. The F-35 fighter jet cannot be mission capable without the specialized canopy. And our research here has traced Garden Grove canopy contracts to F-35 aircraft specifically destined for the Israeli government. So what is developed here at the Garden Grove facility has been used to drop bombs on the family members of people that were impacted by the crisis right here in Orange County. What is developed here in Garden Grove is used to carry out airstrikes on people in Gaza. So this raises an important question for you all. Will Garden Grove residents continue to face the risks of hazardous military manufacturing so that Gkn can produce more military cargo for Israel? The city cannot say today that it needs more information while ignoring the information that was already available when the expansion would move forward. Allow Garden Grove to become the place for corporations.
Next speaker, please.
And then we'll have, Fran, followed by.
Hi, my name is Julianne. I'm here because Gkn needs to be held accountable for their actions here in Garden Grove and for their hands in the Hotep region and the war on Iran. We are not just speaking about windows or small parts they manufacture. This is a facility that makes transparency canopies that give the F-35 its capabilities to bomb innocent people. This is a military component. This is profit over people. Gkn has publicly sought to expand production. This includes increasing capacity. This is not an isolated incident, not just one incident that broke the trust of the community. An example of Gkn's complicity can be seen on October 30th, 2023, when roughly 200 gallons of MMA monomer spilled during a transfer between tanks. Garden Grove is complicit in allowing this to happen repeatedly. You, the city council, must confront the fact that the May chemical crisis was not an isolated incident. Gkn has a history of repeated violations compromising the health and safety of its workers and the residents of Garden Grove, and it serves no one with a conscience. The city is showing the residents time and time again they do not care for the well-being. Gkn is complicit in the genocide on Gaza and the war on Iran in the region, and putting the people of Garden Grove in danger. That concludes.
Tren, followed by Sophia Tren.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Sophia Tran, and I'm a senior at Bolsa Grande High School and member of Viet Rise, an organization that works with immigrant and working class Vietnamese communities in Little Saigon to advance racial and economic justice. At first glance, Gkn's $100 million offered to residents who have been impacted by the Gkn chemical crisis may seem promising. But when taking a second look and breaking down the math, when evenly distributed among the 50,000 residents who, by the way, are still continuing to feel the effects of this chemical crisis, what is the total amount we get? $2,000 per resident, an estimate that does not take into account impacted businesses nor reimbursements to emergency responders during the crisis. Is this Gkn's price tag on the safety of our community? The truth is that no matter the amount of money Gkn commits to publicly, the safety of our neighbors and loved ones should be paramount. Certain council members may feel satisfied with Gkn's promises, hoping that outrage over Gkn's presence in our backyards will blow over. It will not. We've heard from countless residents about the uncertainty of living near such hazardous chemicals, especially given the well-documented history of safety violations at the facility, which make it evident that Gkn did not even take the safety of their own employees into consideration. It doesn't take much to see why there is so much distrust between Gkn and the communities they endangered. That's why we stand here today to echo our coalition's demand to reject the expansion of Gkn's capacity to build parts for weapons of war and to act decisively to prevent future accidents from this industry. These facilities have brought pain upon our residents locally and are enabling suffering on a global scale. It's time that Garden Grove stands up for public safety, for our community, and for all those affected by war. Thank you.
The next three speakers will be Kevin Diaz, Melissa Sarfi,
we have Kevin.
Good evening, Mayor, and members of the council, I'm here and I'm requesting Dr. Brook, speaking on behalf of item number 60. I want to start by expressing my sincere gratitude to this council for what you did to bring this up to discussion, and personally thank Councilmember Stakey for requesting and bringing item 16 forward tonight. 2 weeks ago, I stood here and shared how the current 10-year moving rule under municipal code 8.48.030 is hurting our local tax-paying future landlords and creating public safety hazards. You listened, and it was honestly faster than I expected, so I thank all of you for that. As you can see, we're back here again because this is a real issue that needs to be updated to fit modern foreclosures. While we wait for the full discussion on item 16 later tonight, I want to remind everyone that we aren't just asking for a lawless free-for-all. We support background checks, health permits, and smart location regulations, but we cannot survive a 10-minute moving rule that makes it logistically impossible to safety for professionals. We also just want equality and fairness for all food trucks because some of them are still able to operate without any problems, while others have to be we saw by an casino will receive the $1,000 ticket. We are not ice cream trucks, we sell hot food. I am looking forward to a productive discussion on item 16 tonight. We urge the council to take the lead and direct staff to draft a realistic multi-hour framework so our small businesses can thrive safely and garden growth. Thank you.
Next speaker, Alyssa. Sargent.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Alyssa, and I work at Gkn. I am here tonight, not just as an employee, but as a mother who depends on this job to provide for her daughter. At Gkn, okay, my job at Gkn gives me stability and allows me to take care of my family. For many of us, this isn't a temporary job, it's a career. I work alongside people who have been here for over 35 years, and have dedicated a big part of their lives to this company. At Gkn, we make windows, and we take a lot of pride in the work that we do. I understand that the city and the residents have concerns, and we want our community to be safe too. I also think that it can be easy to judge Gkn from the outside when you aren't physically inside the facility every day, seeing the changes that are being made and the work being done to make our facility safer. As employees, we see those efforts firsthand. We see the changes, the precautions, and the work being done to address the concerns that have been raised. I'm asking the city and the community to please work with Gkn to find a solution that keeps everyone safe, while also allowing us to continue doing the work that we take pride in. There are real people behind every decision being made about Gkn, and what happens here will have a real impact on our lives. Please consider the employees, our children, our families, and the community that depends on these jobs. Thank you.
Followed by Maria, we have Carmen Lawyer and David.
Maria, you have a translator this evening, so go ahead and walk over the time.
Buenas noches, señor alcalde y miembros del Consejo Municipal. Me llamo María Betancourt y estoy aquí esta noche como abuela, pero también como miembro de la comunidad de Garden Grove. Intervengo porque me propongo al consumo de tabaco en nuestros parques y el efecto que esta tiene en nuestros niños y familias. Como abuela, una de las cosas que más disfruto es pasar el tiempo con mi nieta en el parque. Se supone que los parques son lugares donde los niños pueden correr, jugar y hacer ejercicio y disfrutar del aire libre. Deberían ser espacios donde las familias se sientan a gusto con sus hijos y sin embargo, cuando hay personas fumando en las áreas de juegos infantiles o cerca de ellas en otras zonas donde se reúnen los niños, las familias quedan expuestas al humo de segunda mano. Me importa mucho el disfrutar del parque público. Los niños no deberían tener que respirar el humo de otras personas mientras juegan. Entiendo que cada persona tiene sus propias preferencias y el derecho a tomar sus propias decisiones. Pero los parques públicos son espacios compartidos y creo que tenemos la responsabilidad de hacer que sean lo más seguros y saludables posibles para todos, especialmente para los niños. No se trata de juzgar a quienes fuman. Se trata de unirse en tornando donde los niños y las familias puedan disfrutar de nuestros parques sin estar expuestos al humo de segunda mano. También creo que nuestra comunidad apoya esta iniciativa. Muchos padres, abuelos y residentes desean que nuestros parques sean lugares donde los niños puedan jugar sin verse expuestos al tabaco de otra forma del consumo del producto formal. Solicitamos al Consejo Municipal que considere de declarar los parques de Gkn Công libres de humo. Incluye las áreas de juegos infantiles, las canchas deportivas, las zonas de picnic y otros espacios donde se reúnan las familias y niños. Sé que modificar una política municipal requiere un análisis detenido y respecto al trabajo que conlleva tomar estas decisiones, pero lo pido que escuchen a las familias y a los residentes que solicitan este cambio. Como abuela, quiero que mi nieta crezca disfrutando de nuestros parques, jugando con otros niños, teniendo la libertad de respirar, de no respirar el humo de segunda mano. Nuestros parques pertenecen a toda la comunidad. Deben ser lugares acogedores y saludables para todos. Por favor, ayúdenos a lograr los parques de Gkn Công estén libres de humo. Gracias por escucharme esta noche y tomar en cuenta las inquietudes de toda la comunidad de Gkn Công. Buenas noches. Gracias.
I have her statement written in English, and hopefully I could read it with the passion that she has right now. Good evening, Mayor and member of the City Council. My name is Maria Betancourt, and I'm here tonight as a grandmother, but also as a member of the Garden Grove community. I am speaking because I'm concerned about smoking in our parks and the effect it has on our children and families. As a grandmother, one of the things I enjoy most is spending time with my granddaughter at the park. Parks are supposed to be places where children can run, play, exercise, and enjoy being outside. They should be places where families feel comfortable bringing their children. But when people are smoking in or near playgrounds and other areas where children gather, families are exposed to secondhand smoke simply because they want to enjoy a public park. Children should not have to breathe someone else's smoke while playing. I understand that everyone has different choices and that people have the right to make their own decisions. But public parks are shared spaces, and I believe we have a responsibility to make those spaces as safe and healthy as possible for everyone, especially children. This is not about judging people who smoke. It is about creating an environment where children and families can enjoy our parks without being exposed to secondhand smoke. I also believe this is something our community supports. Many parents, grandparents, and residents want our parks to be places where children can play without being exposed to tobacco or other forms of smoking. We're asking the City Council to consider making Garden Grove Park smoke-free, including playgrounds, sports fields, picnic areas, and other areas where families and children gather. I know that changing a city policy takes consideration, and I respect the work that goes into making these decisions. But I ask you to listen to the families and residents who are asking for this change. As a grandmother, I want my granddaughter to grow up. I apologize, but your time is up. Okay. I apologize. I keep
She gave a copy. She gave a copy of it.
Yes, thank you.
Next speaker, we have Carmen Boyas. Carmen also has a translator, and speaking time is 2 minutes, and you get 4 minutes total with the translator.
Can I just have a,
This time, so I'm gonna have to do it back and forth.
okay, so will it be 4 minutes placed there, or is it 2 minutes?
I set it to the 4 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Buenas noches y gracias por recibirnos.
Good night, and thank you for receiving us.
La vez pasada vine como
Last time I came as a mother,
y ahora vengo como futura abuela.
and now I'm coming as a future grandmother.
Y vengo porque tengo la ansiedad que mi pequeño nieto vaya a tener asma o estemos hablando del trabajo.
And I come here with fear that my future grandchild may also have asthma because of secondhand smoke exposure.
Esta vez a mí me tocó ir al parque a recoger polillas del trabajo. Fue algo impresionante. Contamos arriba de 400 polillas en menos de una hora.
She participated in a park cleanup, and she was really surprised that they were able to collect 400 cigarette butts in just an hour.
Fue algo que no me imaginé ir a ver en mi parque.
She didn't imagine seeing this in a park.
Entonces yo me puse a analizar que los futuros nietos que yo voy a tener, no quiero que estén en el parque, luego porque no les segundo.
That made her think that she does not want her children to be playing in the park with tobacco and secondhand smoke in the area.
Por eso vengo otra vez de nuevo aquí con ustedes para que puedan ustedes quitar el cigarro.
So she comes here urging you to take away tobacco from the parks.
Sí, porque es algo que uno no puede ver, ustedes no lo pueden ver, pero es algo que yo me quedé impresionada. En menos de una hora juntar tantísimas polillas de cigarro, es algo impactante.
You may not have seen that or have experienced it, but being at a cleanup where you pick up 400 cigarette butts in 1 hour is really impactful.
Y no me gustaría que mi futuro nieto solo llegue al parque y estén gente tomando, porque les va a hacer daño.
And she doesn't want to take her future grandchild to a park where there's going to be people smoking.
Y por eso vengo para volver a exigir que aprueben la ley.
And that's why she's here to urge you to pass a law for no smoking in parks.
Gracias por su atención.
And thank you for your attention.
Next speaker, David. Followed by David, we will have Jose Roman. And followed by Jose, we have Julie Braden.
Hi, my name is David. I've had the privilege to work at Gkn Aerospace in Garden Grove for the last 2 years, and now been in the surrounding area for the last 22 years. And don't plan on leaving. I feel safe at home and as well as at work. I just want to start off saying we only make windows. Windows for all aircrafts, windows for all the airplanes, windows for all the jets, windows for everything else when up in the sky, but just windows. Gkn is not what people are saying. Some people are saying Gkn should not be looked at as a heated company. We only make windows. So people can fly to their jobs, so they can fly to their vacations, so they can fly to their families, so they can fly for the holidays. Wherever they want to fly to, whenever they want to fly. One thing that makes me proud to work for Gkn is I feel I had a little part to make some of that possible. I enjoy working at Gkn. I recommend my family and friends to apply at Gkn. There's around 600 proud employees currently working 3 shifts at Gkn. All depend on Gkn to support their families. Family as well. I have lots of employees that I now call friends. 2 of them alternate David. One David has worked at Gkn for 4 years and still comes to work smiling and happy. It's such a pleasure to be around. The other David is 72 and refuses to retire because he takes pride in everything he does and loves reminiscing about all the good times he's had throughout the years working for Gkn. I hope that we can keep Gkn doors open and keep everyone working and keep everyone in the air because you can't fly without a window. Thank you.
Good job.
It's a good time to have a next speaker.
Good evening, my name is Jose. I'm here to speak regarding the food truck vendors that have been fined and removed out of Garden Grove, including my father's family-owned truck. Our first 2 years in business here in Garden Grove, we had no issue selling. But last year, we were fined over $7,000 in tickets, and this year over $5,000. We pay these fines to continue to work in the city of Garden Grove in hopes that we don't lose our customers that took us over 4 years to build. Unfortunately, these fines got out of hand. We're getting out of hand and we had no choice but to leave and look elsewhere. What we don't understand and also looks bad on city management is despite us being removed, there's now 2 food trucks operating and running with no issue at the same spot we used to sell out of. We don't want them removed, but we want an explanation and we want fairness. We pay our taxes, we have our permits to sell, we pass health inspections. Therefore, I believe we should be allowed to operate here. If food trucks can pass all these requirements, then we should all be given a chance. We are one of the many food trucks that were kicked out of Garden Grove. We hope that the regulations can make food truck vendors be able to sell in Garden Grove more easy and give fairness to everyone.
Excuse me.
We're gonna share more about the research.
Yeah.
I'll see what it is. I don't know. Yeah, let me see what I can do. I'm gonna talk to here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, are you like sucking down there? All right. I took it inside. I saw it.
Testing. Như vậy là chúng ta vừa mới xem theo dõi một phần của cái buổi họp thành phố ngày hôm nay. Buổi họp mà công ty Gkn, công ty sản xuất những cái dụng cụ hay là vật liệu liên quan tới máy bay đã bị rò rỉ mấy tháng trước đây, 3 tháng trước đây đó. Thì hôm nay họ có cái buổi để mà điều trần, nhân dịp họ thông báo một cái quỹ gọi là quỹ bồi thường với trị giá 100 triệu đô la cho số lượng khoảng cỡ chừng 50.000 người đã bị ảnh hưởng. Tất nhiên trong số nếu mà chia ra thì hồi nãy giờ người ta nói đó, chia ra thì đều, nếu mà đổ đồng thì là 2.000 đô cho mỗi người hoặc là mỗi gia đình vậy đó. Thì tất nhiên là nó không phải như vậy. Có những cái người thì chẳng có bị ảnh hưởng gì nhiều, nhưng mà cũng có những người sẽ bị ảnh hưởng nhiều hơn. Thứ nhất là những cái cơ sở thương mại mà nằm trong cái khu vực đó trong mấy ngày không có bán buôn gì được. Thì đây là cái quỹ mà mọi người, những người nào mà vừa rồi bị phải di tản và nghĩ rằng là sẽ có bị ảnh hưởng thì nên để ý, và khi nào mà nó mở ra để mà đăng ký thì làm sớm, có thể liên lạc với một số các luật sư để mà có thể hiểu được cái quyền lợi của mình. có lẽ trong vài ngày tới tôi cũng sẽ hỏi một vài luật sư để cho họ có những cái lời khuyên một cách chính xác trong trường hợp này về quyền lợi của những người mà bị ảnh hưởng. Quay trở lại cái một phần của cái buổi họp của ngày hôm nay trong hội đồng thành phố mà tôi có dịp nghe qua, thì khi mà tôi vào thì đã một phần nào các dân cử đã phát biểu xong rồi, cho nên là cũng chưa biết họ nói cái gì. Nghe một số người nói thôi. Tuy nhiên một cách tổng quát là ông đại diện của Gkn đã thông báo về cái điều đó và cũng như là trả lời một số những cái câu hỏi. Cái phần đáng nói tới là cái phần các cư dân họ lên họ phát biểu. Thì các cư dân thì nó nhiều thành phần, mà thậm chí có thể nói là có rất nhiều những người mà có thể gọi là quan sát và biết được là họ có thể là trong thành phố bị ảnh hưởng, hoặc là ngoài thành phố không bị ảnh hưởng, nhưng vẫn tới để mà có thể đưa ra những cái quan điểm của họ về cái vấn đề này. Hoặc là từ cái vấn đề này họ đặt thêm những vấn đề xa xôi hơn nữa. Thí dụ như là một nhóm của các những người từ cái tổ chức mang tên là Việt Rise, là một cái tổ chức của người Việt trẻ ở đây đó, với cô Tracy La là người chủ tịch hiện nay. Họ có nói tới, cũng như lần trước, lần này họ có nhắc tới là họ phản đối cái công ty này. Một trong những cái điểm đó là công ty này sản xuất ra những cái bộ phận để mà cuối cùng làm thành những chiếc máy bay. Những chiếc máy bay đó bay sang bên Trung Đông hoặc là Palestine để mà thả bom, vân vân. Cái thông điệp nó đẩy xa đi cái mức chính trị. Nhưng mà ngoài ra thì những người ở trong nhóm đó cũng phản đối một cách rất là mạnh mẽ đối với công ty. Nó là 100 triệu không nghĩa lý gì cả so với lại cái tai hại của họ gây ra. Ở phía ngược lại thì khá nhiều những nhân viên của công ty đã được đi cùng để mà lên phát biểu. Tất nhiên khi họ lên phát biểu thì họ mong muốn là công ty sẽ được tiếp tục gọi là làm việc ở trong thành phố này để mà công ăn việc làm của họ được bảo đảm. Thông tin cho biết rằng là cái công ty đã bị điều tra bởi quận Cam điều tra, nhưng mà cuối cùng là không có truy tố, chỉ có những cái sự bồi thường, không có truy tố. Cái cuộc điều tra của tiểu bang hoặc là liên bang gì đó thì vẫn còn tiếp tục, nhưng mà cuộc điều tra của quận Cam thì đã kết thúc với cái kết quả là không có truy tố họ. Ông Đỗ Vinh có đề nghị một vài cái điểm cũng khá là thú vị, đó là đề nghị là ông, trước khi ông đề nghị thì ông có nói rằng là các ông có cam kết rằng là sẽ đặt cái quyền lợi của cư dân lên trên cái quyền lợi của công ty hay không. Công ty không vì cái lợi nhuận của công ty mà đặt trên cái quyền lợi của cư dân hay không. Tất nhiên câu trả lời từ phía người đại diện là có, sẽ đặt cái quyền lợi của cư dân lên trên. Ông Đỗ Vinh có đề nghị một số đề nghị, như là đề nghị để cho các cư dân quan tâm cũng như là truyền thông có thể được đi quan sát ở bên trong cái khuôn viên nhà máy trong thời gian tới. Thì hy vọng cái điều đó sẽ diễn ra, và các cơ quan truyền thông cũng như là người dân quan tâm có cơ hội để mà đi vào bên trong để mà có thể mục sở thị thấy được rằng là cái sự an toàn của cái khu vực nhà máy nó như thế nào, đặc biệt là cái bình đã từng bị rò rỉ nó sẽ như thế nào. Thì đó là một cái đề nghị gọi là rất thiết thực. Ngoài ra thì ông cũng có đề nghị một số điểm. Có một số những cái người mà phản đối nhà máy đó thì họ nói rằng là nhà máy này bỏ ra 100 triệu, nhưng thực ra khi mà họ thông báo cái tin này ngày hôm nay thì coi như là cổ phiếu của họ đã tăng lên, khiến cho họ là lời thêm được khoảng cỡ chừng, không nhớ họ nói là 4 hay là 500 triệu gì đó. Cho nên là cái số tiền họ bỏ ra cho cư dân không có nghĩa lý gì cả. Thì ông Đỗ Vinh là một trong số các nghị viên hoặc là thị trưởng ở trong cái buổi hôm nay là lập tức gọi là đề nghị đáp trả lại bằng cách là ông nói rằng là cổ phiếu thì nó có lúc lên có lúc xuống, không thể mà tính toán cái chính sách dựa trên cổ phiếu được. Cho nên là ý ông muốn nói rằng là cổ phiếu của họ có thể lên ngày hôm nay qua cái thông báo này, nhưng mà họ không có nghĩa là nói rằng là họ đã không có cái thành ý khi mà bỏ ra 100 triệu để mà đền cho cái vụ này đó. Tại vì lỡ cái ngày mai cái cổ phiếu của họ xuống thì sao? Thì ông Đỗ Vinh cũng nói ra cái điều đó nữa. Thì đó là cái một số những cái thông tin ở trong cái buổi họp ngày hôm nay. Có lẽ là trong một vài ngày tới thì cái thông báo một cách rõ ràng hơn là những người mà bị ảnh hưởng đó, cụ thể là những người vừa rồi có di tản đó, hoặc là đóng cửa công ty, có đóng cửa cửa hàng của họ trong mấy ngày qua đó, là sẽ nên chú ý để mà theo dõi cái vấn đề này mà khi mà họ mở ra để mà đăng ký cho cái việc bồi thường. Tại vì nói vậy chứ 100 triệu thì nó không có to. Khi mà rải ra với lại cái số lượng người rất là đông vừa qua, khoảng 50.000 người đó, thì nếu mà cái quỹ nó hết đi thì có lẽ là sẽ cái người ta không có nói rõ, chưa cho tới nay thì chưa có nói rõ là first come first serve, tức là người nào đăng ký trước có trước, người đăng ký sau có sau. Nhưng mà rõ ràng là cái số lượng thì nó có giới hạn như vậy, cho nên là nên chú ý để mà đăng ký trước. Cũng có nghị viên, tôi không nhớ ai, đề nghị rằng là nếu mà 100 triệu này không đủ cho 50.000 người như vậy thì quý vị có thể mà gia tăng hay không? Thì có cái câu hỏi đó cũng đã được đặt ra. Thôi bây giờ thì chúng ta sẽ đợi thêm trong thời gian tới thì cái việc này nó được như thế nào. Nói tóm lại là công ty cũng có thể nói rằng là đã đưa ra những cái con số có thể nói là rất là nhanh chóng để mà khắc phục hậu quả. Tôi nhớ không lầm thì trước đây họ đã bỏ ra, họ đã thông báo cái số 5 triệu đô la để mà cho những người nào mà cần thiết một cách khẩn cấp đó, để thì cái quỹ đó ban đầu đã có. Bây giờ là quỹ 100 triệu đô la như vậy thì đồng tiền đi trước là đồng tiền khôn, cho nên là họ cũng đã đưa ra cái con số như thế này. Và công ty thì ngày 20 dường như là 27 tháng 9 thì sẽ mở lại để hoạt động trở lại. Đó cũng là nguyện vọng của rất là nhiều người, công nhân, nhân viên của công ty có mặt ngày hôm nay ở đây để mà nói lên tiếng nói của phía công ty. Một cái buổi họp nó như vậy, nó có đầy đủ các phía nói chuyện. Tất nhiên là sau đó cũng có một số người nói những cái chuyện không có dính dáng gì hết. Một nhóm những người phụ nữ, những bà ngoại, bà nội vô đề nghị cái chuyện gọi là báo động cho thành phố rằng là có những cái vấn đề mà hút thuốc ở các cái công viên, cho nên là nó ảnh hưởng tới mấy đứa nhỏ đó. Thì chắc là sẽ đề nghị là có những cái bảng cấm hút thuốc ở trong các công viên mặc dù nó ở ngoài trời. Đấy, thì mỗi nhóm người đều có một cái mục tiêu để tới hội đồng thành phố đề nghị. Nó là như vậy. Bây giờ thì chúng ta sẽ tạm đóng lại cái phóng sự ở đây, PhoBolsaTV, ngay tại hội đồng thành phố Garden Grove. Xin kính chào và xin hẹn gặp lại. Đây là đường phố Garden Grove về đêm đây. Ở khu này là khu tòa thị chính, cho nên về đêm thì nó cũng vắng vẻ.
Nguyễn Mạnh Cường xin kính chào quý khán giả. Sau đây là một tin tức về tài chính cho những ai đang mắc nợ credit card.
Theo thống kê mới nhất trong trang mạng ngày 29 tháng 5 2026, hiện có hơn 1.000 tỷ nợ credit card đang rơi vào tình trạng khó khăn và kiệt quệ vì tiền lời quá cao và nền kinh tế lạm phát. Hãy gọi ngay cho Lincoln, chương trình hỗ trợ cấp tốc giải quyết nợ credit card dưới sự hỗ trợ của đạo luật bảo vệ người tiêu dùng Federal Trade Commission và Credit Accountability Act 2009. Lincoln giảm nợ sẽ giúp bạn dứt nợ từ 12 đến 48 tháng. tiết kiệm hoàn toàn 100% tiền lời. Lincoln là sự lựa chọn đúng nhất. 15 phút để giảm nợ và giải quyết dứt nợ credit card ngay bây giờ. Có bao giờ bạn nghĩ rằng mọi sự lao lực vất vả hàng ngày của bạn đã làm ra đã và đang đi về đâu? Cho tiền lời credit card hay cho những ước mơ của bạn? Theo thống kê, 90% credit card payment của bạn sẽ đi vào tiền lời. Hãy gọi ngay cho Lincoln, chương trình hỗ trợ cấp tốc giải quyết nợ credit card dưới sự hỗ trợ của đạo luật bảo vệ người tiêu dùng Federal Trade Commission và Credit Accountability Act 2009. Lincoln giảm nợ sẽ giúp bạn dứt nợ từ 12 đến 48 tháng, tiết kiệm hoàn toàn 100% tiền lời. Đã đến lúc bạn hãy làm những gì cho chính bạn. Lincoln là sự lựa chọn đúng nhất.